Reflection and refraction mirrors have a shiny surface which reflects light. A light wave is also known as a light ray. Light rays reflect off mirror and most other things. Mirrors have a very smooth, shiny surface which reflects all the light off at the same angle, which gives a clear reflection. This is called specular reflection. Rough surfaces look dull, and this is because the light is reflected back or scattered in lots of different directions. This is called diffuse reflection or diffuse scattering. The law of reflection is a fundamental principle in physics that describes how light bounces off surfaces. It states that the angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection. When light hits a surface, the angle at which it approaches the surface, the angle of incidence, is equal to the angle at which it bounces away from the surface, the angle of reflection. Both angles are measured relative to a line called the normal, which is an imaginary line that is perpendicular to the surface at the point where the light strikes. The incident ray, reflected ray, and normal lie in the same plane. This means that the incoming light ray, the reflected light ray, and the normal to the surface all lie in the same flat plane. In simpler terms, if you imagine a light ray approaching a mirror at a certain angle, it will bounce off at the same angle on the other side of the normal line. This principle is why mirrors can create clear reflections and why you see images in them. Here's a simple way to remember it. If the light ray hits the mirror at a 30-degree angle from the normal, it will reflect off at a 30-degree angle on the other side. This consistency in angles helps us understand how mirrors and reflective surfaces work. Refraction is when light bends as it crosses a boundary. Light will travel through transparent material, but it won't go through anything opaque. When light travels from one transparent medium to another, it bends, and this is called refraction. When light goes from a less dense medium to a more dense medium, the light bends towards the normal, for example, air to glass. When light goes from a more dense medium to a less dense medium, the light will bend away from the normal, like glass to air. This happens because light travels at different speeds through different materials. The bigger the difference in density between the materials, the more light will bend. Light hitting a glass block is like a car hitting sand. Light hits the glass at an angle, slows down. This makes it bend towards the normal. When the light ray leaves the glass, it speeds up again and bends back away from the normal. It is a bit like a car hitting sand at an angle. The right wheels get slowed down first, and this turns the car to the right, towards the normal. Leaving the sand, the right wheel speeds up first, and this turns the car to the left, away from the normal. If both wheels hit the sand together, they slow down together, so the car goes straight through, without turning. Light does the same when it hits the glass block straight on.